All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another video by Casual Geographic. Great content creator. And you know what? The last time I actually did a video to Casual Geographic, I actually got a lot of comments that really thought that I hate cats. So guys, for anyone who thinks that I really hate cats, all I have to say is, and with that being said, make sure that if you're someone who watches Casual Geographic and you're just coming here to see the reaction, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're from my channel, if you've never heard of Casual Geographic, which I find that I don't really believe that, but if you are one of those people, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe to him. He's a great channel, a lot of great content. And guys, as you all know, here's the serious part of the video, the most serious. If you guys don't like, comment, or subscribe, YouTube will come through that door, and they will. Casual Geographic's the most homicidal animal on Earth is not what you think. So how about this? I'm going to throw out a suspicion. I think it's going to be like a mosquito or something, some type of fly, some type of animal that like bites you, gives you like malaria or something. So we'll see.
So in 2016, the University of Granada published a study that tried to answer the question of what mammal out of the thousands on Earth is the most homicidal. And the results, well, if it wasn't on paper, you wouldn't believe it.
Okay, so this is just mammals. Okay, scratch what I just said out. Out of just mammals, the most dangerous, jeez. That's a good one. I don't know. I gotta say humans.
Researchers created a list of over 1,000 candidates, and by painstakingly studying over 4 million animal deaths total and recording how many of those life retirements were caused by the same species, they were able to mathematically determine what mammals are the most likely to murk their own kind. And nobody could have predicted some of the answers. The Dama gazelle placed 16th on the homicide scale with an 11.85% chance of getting past tense by another Dama. Slightly above them at 14th were chinchillas with a probability of getting put down by a fellow chilla at a solid 12%. Brown bears just barely made the top 30 at less than 10%. But the bears of the sea, specifically the New Zealand sea lion, lapped them with an execution rate above 15. Now, you're probably wondering where humans ranked on this list. We gotta be up there. I mean, there's just no way. No.
Bro, no. I don't care what you say. If humans ain't top 2 in animals or mammals that kill each other, I need this. Okay. Humans are top 2. I don't know. He better show me some very high statistics of other animals murdering each other, because I am human. I've met humans. I had the urge. Okay, should I cut that part out, guys? I don't know.
Humans didn't even crack the top 40 with less than 2% of human soul evictions caused by another human. In fact, according to the numbers, lemurs have far more bloodlust than humans and chimpanzees. But the most horny for homicide mammal in this study, the most murderous creature on Earth, was the meerkat. No, not a meerkat, the meerkat with about...
Yo, hold on, guys. Hold on here. What is he saying right now? What is he saying right now? Is he making this up? Humans are 2%. What are all... I've seen people go to war before. Wars don't get... Like, are there animal... Okay, I've heard of gorillas going to war with each other, like primates, actually having like chimpanzees, having like a whole chimpanzee war. Look it up on YouTube, guys. There's a whole documentary about it. It's really interesting. Like chimpanzees actually went to war over territory stuff. It was crazy. Look it up. But what, humans aren't cracking the top 5? They're not even in the top 10? Guys, I'm not saying we got to step it up, but these are some baby numbers here.
About 20% of those in God's recently deleted having been airdropped by another meerkat. But like with any true psychopath, to see where these tendencies come from, we gotta look at their family. Meerkats are a type of mongoose, an animal that essentially married crackhead determination with gang mentality. We're gonna get back to them in a second, but just know, running a fade with mongoose is like getting attacked by a team of temperamental tube socks with teeth. But if you take a wider look, meerkats belong to a superfamily that I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. I just know that they share it with fusas,
Herpsitoidea? That's my best guess, guys. I'm gonna call them Timon because obviously you know why. If you don't understand why I'm calling them Timon, you're probably too young to be watching YouTube.
Which I talked about last video, and hyenas. Yeah, the hyenas' closest relatives are mongooses like the meerkat, and that made no sense to me until I heard what meerkats sound like.
They're so cute,
The mongoose is probably most famous for their eternal beef with snakes. Except the word beef is doing a lot of heavy lifting, since snake versus mongoose is more lopsided than an edge up from Stevie Wonder. A common misconception is that they're immune to snake venom. They're resistant, but there's a point where enough venom will murk even a mongoose. The mongoose has a mutation in their nicotinic acetylcholine receptor that makes it harder for neurotoxic snake venom to bind to it. That's how the same cobra that can flatline a person in 15 minutes can fully get put on a t-shirt by a warpath weasel. And meerkats will run fades with highly venomous snakes and turn them into a belt if they need to. These sand assault squirrels will even weaponize the power of friendship to flex on enemies like snakes through a process called mobbing. Speaking of which, don't worry.
Mob. Let's go. They look like a mob. They look like a real gang right now. Look at these right now. They look like they're about to like really do some like straight up mob shit right here. Like, this is crazy.
Forget about this, but to explain why meerkats have such a high KD ratio against their own kind, you gotta understand how functionally dysfunctional their families are. The meerkat empire is built on a foundation of violence, extortion, spawn killing, cannibalism, but most importantly, a power-hungry mother, and it goes like this. Meerkats live in groups called mobs, and each mob is a conglomerate of several family units merged together as one. And sitting at the throne of each mob are the dominant couple, the alpha male, but more importantly, the alpha female. Because like with their bigger hyena cousins, meerkats are female dominated, and it's the biggest, meanest mama meerkat that calls the shots. Everyone has a job in meerkat society, and the alpha female is responsible for birthing new members to the mob, which is why she eats by far more than anyone else, so that she can make enough milk to feed her pups. The top male is primarily in charge of guarding his defenseless kids, and when he's not doing that, he's usually out hunting or spreading his scent to reinforce his territory. Then you have the scout team, the meerkats whose jobs are to forage for food wherever they can find it. And watching their backs are the sentinels, the security guards of the clan who keep an eye out for ops like eagles or jackals and will alert the foragers of danger with an alarm call. And back with the newborns are the babysitters who keep the new recruits from wandering and going MIA, and the second they hear that alarm, they either rush the kids back underground or prepare to defend them with their life. And of course, to teach the meerkats how to meerkat, you have meerkat mentors. That job description includes passing down all the tricks of their trade, like how a scorpion minus a sting.
I'll be honest, these guys seem pretty cool already. I like their society for real. I like how they got the little structure into it. It's actually pretty cool, guys. Like, you know, meerkats, they look cute, but they are deadly. It's kind of like those cats.
It's just free protein. They'll even hand a mutilated scorpion to the pups for them to hone their hunting prowess on. By the way, did you know that when you remove a scorpion's stinger, you also remove its anus? So if they don't get discharged from reality right there, they get put in a coffin by severe constipation months later. The more you know. And last are the pups themselves.
What? Did you guys know that? I'd never even thought about that. Like, I never put the connection together that their tail was connected to their anus. So, wow. I mean, I probably should have thought about that, but it just never crossed my mind.
And their only job is to not die. And you're gonna see why just surviving meerkat society can be harder than Hefner. One of the most crucial rules of meerkat monarchy is that only the alpha female is allowed to have pups, and she can end up spawning 80% of all the infants in the mob. If one of her subordinates literally f***s around and she's the one to find out, the penalties can include the illicit offspring getting discontinued permanently, and even the offending female getting banished from the family by the queen. And with how meerkat mobs work, a lot of times this involves a mother evicting her own daughter. And with meerkats being used social, getting kicked out can be a death sentence with extra steps. So often the outcast will come crawling back, and sometimes she's allowed back in, but on one condition. The alpha female can and will force the insubordinate outlaw to breastfeed her children, basically using the threat of eviction to turn what's often her own daughter into a wet nurse. The price of promiscuity is why most baby meerkats.
Damn, that's kind of messed up. This is like some Game of Thrones level stuff. Like, if somebody told me there was like some type of like HBO documentary series, or not even an HBO regular series about meerkats, but like they made it so they were like an actual like kingdom and stuff, and like they vocalized them, kept actual meerkats, but then just had voice actors, I would watch that show. I would watch like the power struggle between the meerkat queen and like some up and coming meerkat princess who's like realizing that she needs to get away from the queen. Maybe she has a baby, has to be the wet nurse situation, and then she's still like she just putting herself in a position to like be the queen one day. I don't know. This sounds like a pretty interesting show. Now, also, remember, guys, these are meerkats the whole time. They're not going to be humans. They're going to be voice acted, and some of them are going to be British. Some of them are going to be Australian. It is going to have a very worldly cast, but it is going to be an interesting show. So, comment below. Do you think this meerkat idea is a good idea? Should HBO call me to get more details on this? I know I kind of gave away a lot already, but I have more up here. I'm saving the big twist. You know, I'm doing the Shyamalan thing, you know? So let me know if, comment down below. Tell HBO, hit me up about this.
Born will celebrate their first birthday in the afterlife. Pups not birthed by the alpha are at such a risk that some insubordinate females will even catch a case eliminating the queen's kids if it means giving her own a better chance. But it's not that easy. The meerkat monarch is so attached to the throne that she's even willing to exile one of her daughters just for getting too big and therefore being too big of a threat. Just like hyenas, female meerkats produce double the testosterone as males, and they use this to bully the rest of the mob into submission. A banished female does have the options of either trying to bag a bachelor to start a mob of her own, or just straight up trying to join a new one. But there's always the chance she gets violently rejected for her efforts. To put it in perspective, imagine a grandmother that not only puts her daughters out on the street for getting pregnant, not only turns her own grandchildren into a case number, but only lets that daughter live under her roof if she agrees to nurse her mother's kids, which, yes, would mean breastfeeding their own younger siblings. It's twisted, but that's just how meerkats manner. And speaking of siblings, even your own roommate in the womb weight room can do you dirty. Meerkat pups will often square up and throw paws with each other, and even though these fights aren't to the death like with hyena cubs, there's a direct relationship between the availability of food and just how violent these fades can get. Early on, meerkat pups rely 100% on helpers bringing them food, and a pup will start something with their own sibling if they see that one getting too close to a helper. The human equivalent would be your mom coming home with McDonald's and you and your brother throwing fisticuffs with the winner getting to eat and the loser getting to watch. Actually, we might not be that different. And if that weren't enough, there's always the possibility of a rogue male kidnapping an unsupervised pup to try to add it to his own mob. To be fair, kidnapping's rare, but it usually ends with one less meerkat to count. Now, everything I just mentioned,
I will say kidnapping is better than eating. Like, out of your two choices, like as a baby meerkat, put yourself in the baby meerkat situation. You would rather be kidnapped and then placed into the new meerkat society. And guys, this is exactly how the TV show for HBO is going to go. That's how it's going to start. This isn't going to be the Mother Queen's actual blood daughter here. It's going to be a kidnapped meerkat brought into their society. Then they're going to take over. Oh, you guys don't know the twist yet because they're going to, I don't want to spoil it, but just know there's a twist. Meerkat, she might be the queen of two kingdoms. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know yet. You guys don't know yet. I do know though. You don't know. I'm saving it. HBO, let me know.
It involves politics within the mob. Inter-mob conflicts happen too, and it's usually when a foraging party of sand-seasoned assassins trespasses into rival territory. And like with every other aspect of this murder mongoose's life, this too can lead to violence. The meerkat mafia will try to intimidate the opposition with a war dance. Now usually, that's all this is, just a bunch of aggressive posturing and a healthy helping of hold me back. But 10% of the time, words can't do what war can, and it gets physical enough to remove multiple meerkats from the census. And according to studies done in the Kalahari, almost
Why? Why is he giving the smirk? He looks like he's up to something. This dude is up to something. I'm telling you, I don't trust this meerkat. He looks very cute. I want to pet him. I wouldn't ever pet him, but I want to. And the thing is, I know he would bite my hand off.
half of mob-on-mob brutality is initiated by the alpha male. So long story short, males are usually the ones starting stuff with other mobs, while females prefer to keep their beef inside the family. All that adds up to 1 in every 5 meerkat obituaries being
Guess we're not so different after all.
Authored by another meerkat. Meanwhile, the much more infamous hyena has a homicidal hit rate of about 8%. It's to the point where you almost wonder why meerkats don't just choose to live on their own, since the biggest threat to their way of life is often another meerkat. The answer is eusociality. SparkNote's version, it's a system where there's one female spawning babies and everybody else works together to bring up the children while also splitting the labor of the colony. Bees and ants are probably the most famous eusocial insects, and so far we can only name two eusocial mammals, those being the raisin of rodents, the naked mole rat, and mongooses like, yeah. Meerkats live in the desolate, sun-baked deserts of the Kalahari, where grocery shopping is a treasure hunt and death can get delivered to you faster than an Amazon package. The mob system, although not perfect, keeps members fed and protected, especially the pups who almost always have someone watching over them. Their alarm system is so advanced that the sentinels have different calls for different situations with different levels of urgency. For example, the warning call for an approaching fox or jackal is not the same for that of a bird of prey. And like I said, the power of friendship is their best weapon against threats like snakes. In fact, the only snakes they really have to worry about are the ones related to them. So, when it comes to meerkat family, you can't live with them, but you don't got a chance in hell.
He said the only ones you got to worry about are the ones related to you. Honestly, these guys, man, why are they still so adorable animals, though? That's my only problem with these things. They're clearly vicious creatures that may be extremely evil. Like, guys, if you thought cats were bad, these guys, I'll cut that part out, guys. How about that? I'll cut that part out. So you never know about what I said.
Called a lot of animals homicidal, but no mammal is more murderous and more of a legitimate danger to themselves than a baby-faced foot-tall Terminator and the comic relief of Lion King. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Nah, bro, you ain't got it. You ain't got this. You ain't got this one. I see what they're doing here. I see what they're doing with the Timon and Pumbaa thing here. Clearly, Timon, Pumbaa. I see what you guys did there. I like it. Yeah, it's happening. This looks like it was filmed in the 90s too, so that makes sense. All right, guys, that was a good video. I like that one. I don't know. I don't think this one is gonna get me a bunch of negative comments or anything. Like, and I'm not saying there was a bunch of negative comments. There were a few, but you know what? Most of them were just constructive. But also, guys, I don't see what I could have said in this video that could possibly be misinterpreted or seen as bad. So yeah, guys, if you like my reaction, you want to see more of me, you like my personality for some reason, and somehow you made it this far into the video, you guys should like, comment, and subscribe. I think you should do all three. I really think you should. First you subscribe, and actually then you comment. No. Like the video, then subscribe, and then comment. I think that's a pretty good order there. If you made it this far, you probably already liked the video. Now, subscribe. Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, special announcement. If anybody is familiar with my Christian denominations video series, where I just kind of went over the different Christian denominations, one, that is going to the Jewish denominations now, and two, I just purchased that poster from Useful Charts. So poster will be on the way. Very nice poster coming along. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, guys, with that being said, again, thank you to anybody who's made it this far. At this point, as you all know, I'm clearly rambling. I hope you like the new setup here. It's a little bit different than it was before. Not too fancy, but it's I put a little bit of effort into it. And yeah, guys, obviously, as always, if you made it this far, you're incredible. If you subscribe, you could be an angel. And bye.